but that's a problem. Too many average-ass women trying to talk about men who they don't qualify for and trying to make men up there be the reason why they aren't where they are. Toxic femininity is the problem, not toxic masculinity. Ain't shit toxic about being a man deciding that I don't want to get married. Married ain't worth it, especially with the way a lot of women move these days. What women are really bringing any value to these men? Look what Dr. Dre is dealing with. A lot of these other men. Why should these men want to do this kind of stuff? And at 22, more importantly, why is all this garbage in your head? You're 22. Hello?
Hi.
How are you?
So, good. I'm good. How are you?
How old are you?
22.
Okay, so what's the question?
So I guess my question is, so what's the consequences for like the men who go ahead and, I mean, let's say they're in the top 20 or 16% and still do not have the, I guess, the characteristics of a good husband. What consequences do they face other than just still being praised compared to a woman who has all these qualities and still get treated unfair or poorly by a man in the top 20?
I don't understand. Okay, make it simple.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is there's situations where men who are in the top 20 still end up divorcing a woman they got married to.
So?
Or in some cases the woman is the person doing the divorce.
Ma'am, make it simple.
Because the man.
Ma'am. Take a breath. Okay. Make it simple.
Okay. What I'm asking is, what about men who are in the top 20 yet do not have husband qualities other than the money? Do you get what I'm trying to ask?
No, what it sounds like you're trying to ask is, what about the high value men who aren't good either? Sound like another way of whataboutism.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to ask, because
you're 22. Like, you're 22. You're 22.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about it? Why are you worried about that?
Because I do want to get married super early, and I've talked to a lot of men that I feel like are high value, but at the same time, I feel like they really do not know how to be a husband. They just know they have money, a lot of money, and that's all they know, really. And I don't.
So here's the thing. So I see where she's going at as well. I don't know what quote unquote high value men you're talking to, but being high value doesn't automatically mean necessarily that you have morals and principles. Even based off Kevin's definition, doesn't automatically say, hey, I have morals and principles, I'm automatically a husband quality, so on and so forth, this, that, and the third. Now, it doesn't say that you can't or won't get married. I mean, we can prepare our sons or teach our sons how to be a good husband, quote unquote, or what women are looking for and things of that nature. Both parents can do that as well, but a lot of it is trial and error if you've never been through it. The biggest thing is watching your parents and see what they went through, or see what is a dynamic, loving, cohesive relationship between husband and wife. And if you haven't seen that, then it's really just on the job and communication at the end of the day. So if she's dealing with or talking to, she has encountered all these high value guys and they don't seem to be husband quality, it's maybe because they're exercising their options, baby. And did they say they want to be husbands? Anyway, let's get back to it.
See the society judging them for not having the qualities man should have as a husband.
Let's start off number one. Hold on. You're talking too much. You need to listen.
Okay.
First of all, a man can have high value, but not be a high value man. And guess what? He may just decide to be a bachelor for the rest of his life. He can choose to do that. And how should he be judged?
But in some cases, if
no, I
like,
don't want
let's
to. I
say-
don't want to hear about it in some cases. Man, what you're basically saying is it's not fair.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So freaking what? The world lives in double standards, and the problem with you ladies is you like the double standards that benefit you, and the ones that go against you, you want change. Well, too bad. A man has a longer window. And a man can choose to, if he chooses to make himself a top earner and doesn't want to get married and wants to be an eligible bachelor and Leonardo DiCaprio or Jamie Foxx his way around the world, guess what? He can.
Okay, but don't you think that's what's fueling the toxic femininity we see today?
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because most women don't even qualify for a man like that. You shouldn't have an opinion on a man like that if you ain't in his level at his level. If you're an average woman, what do you got? What the nerve are you to talk about a man like Jamie Foxx or Leonardo DiCaprio? And you're an average woman. He wouldn't pick you even if he was trying to get married. You don't rank for this guy. Ain't none of your business what those men do. Just like if you are an average man talking about what Rihanna does. What the nerve you talk about Rihanna? You ain't on her level.
I mean, it's understandable. Everybody got their little opinion, but we read these things. You know, women leave comments that I read the comments as well, based upon that, and they're saying even you can have a woman that doesn't have a red cent in her purse, which is basically ridiculous. But she'll have an opinion on what a man should and shouldn't be doing, and how she could never date this type of guy. She'll never marry this type of guy, but has nothing to offer. Same way a lot of you dudes are behind the keyboards. She's 5'5" and weighs 160. Hell no, she's got to lose about 30 pounds. She's overweight. And you guys, we like to see you guys and what you make and who are you living with and your lifestyle as well. But you guys are quick to just, oh yeah, she's overweight. She's 20 pounds overweight. I can't deal with 5'6", 150, 160 pounds. That's too much. It's like that, not that I really like Key and Peele, but it's like that Key and Peele skit where the fat guy is like on the phone calling in and he's like got an opinion. And yeah, I think Peele plays the character. And he's just calling in, talking all this shit. And he's like this morbidly obese guy that's laying down, you know, talking all this cash money. That's how a lot of you guys are in these comments, man. But that's neither here nor there. If the shit don't, if it's not in your class, I mean, we understand women like gossip. A lot of you men like gossip as well when you talk about it. But a lot of people just want to be inclusive. You know what I'm saying? They just want to be included in the conversation. But anyway, back to it, man.
See, but that's a problem. Too many average ass women trying to talk about men who they don't qualify for and trying to make men up there be the reason why they aren't where they are. Mm-hmm. Toxic femininity is the problem, not toxic masculinity. Ain't shit toxic about being a man deciding that I don't want to get married. Married ain't worth it, especially with the way a lot of women move these days. What women are really bringing any value to these men's tape. Look what Dr. Dre is dealing with. A lot of these other men, why should these men want to do this kind of stuff? And at 22, more importantly, why is all this garbage in your head? You're 22. Don't you have more positive things to be focusing on?
Baby. Yo.
No, see, it gives you something to talk about and something to blame.
Yeah.
Because you say high value men. Are you ready to be a wife right now?
Yeah, I actually
are you qualified? Are you married?
No.
Okay. Are you qualified to be a wife right now?
I think so.
Okay. And the men you're dating towards marriage?
Yeah.
What makes these men high value? And you said you've dated
I
high.
guess,
What makes these men high value?
I'm guessing their societal value. Like he had like a really stable job. He earned like a lot of money, and I guess and that's your
No. I have very specific
definition of
parameters.
high value.
I have very specific parameters.
But his character was just garbage.
Excuse me.
Is what I'm
Excuse
trying
me.
to say.
Excuse me.
And no one is talking about
what are you
that.
doing? Can you not hear?
Huh?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
His character was garbage. Okay. I have very specific parameters for what I consider to be a high value man. It's not just money. Were you raised with mom and dad?
Yeah.
Is your father, your mother and father still married?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your father helping you vet these men that you date?
Not entirely.
No. So so basically you're choosing these men.
For the most part.
Okay.
Baby, either he helping you or he not. What's happening? Either he knows about him or he doesn't. What's happening? Which one is it?
Part of the problem. I don't think you ladies know how to choose effectively. But that's a whole nother kettle. That's a whole nother issue. I'm trying to get you.
It ain't about choosing effectively. It's about living in the moment. It's about feeling special. It's about making that thing jump. You know what I'm saying? It's about giving that thing a heartbeat. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it's about. Fuck all that other shit.
Tell you one thing, because I'm getting feminist, womanist kind of vibes, and that, equality, partnership kind of thing. Do you want to be a wife or do you want to be a partner?
I want to be a wife. I grew up in like the traditional home where my mom, she had a job.
Okay.
She earned a good amount of money, but she was still
Okay.
submissive.
Would you say your attitude on men is positive or negative?
Sorry, what?
Your mindset, your attitude, your thought process
Towards men?
when it comes to relationships, marriage, and dating, is positive or negative?
I would say it varies by
No, it's not. It's not varies. It's okay. It's either on the dark side of. Let's see. This ultimately, man. You came in here with a whataboutism question, and at 22, I'm always fascinated how some of you young ladies are so jaded. When life should be pretty damn happy, you're worried about stuff that has nothing.
My mom got married at 19. So
they're jaded because they're overwhelmed with social media, and they deal with the type of guy that we just talked about that can give that thing a heartbeat, and that doesn't necessarily impute anything into them other than a potential good time or drama or toxicity. So there you have it.
I don't think I'm too young to get married.
I didn't say you were too young to get married. I'm talking about you're worried about all high value men and why men do such and so forth. You should be worried about the men you deal with and how you pick. And if you're picking the men, ultimately, ma'am, guess what? We pick what we're a reflection of. So this is why I don't do that. Well, what about the men thing? That's a very telling question. Many times women always want to say, what about the men? But what about you? Are you really ready to be somebody's wife right now?
I think I am.
Okay. You got a cookbook?
I don't have a cookbook. I have cookbook.
How many kids you got? How many kids do you want?
Over 50 recipes on my head.
Okay. So. How many kids do you want?
How many kids do I want? 3.
Them gal from the Caribbean rhythms. You can tell her voice though.
Mm-hmm. And how are you being found by men who are marriage minded?
My bad for y'all Caribbean people. Is it Galdem, like Galdem from the Caribbean? I'm fucking it all up. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. I love the language though. I love the accent, the patois to the Creoles to all those. I love those accents, man. Shout out to the Caribbean, man.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go. That's why That's why you're not finding the right kind of men. Because that's where you're not finding the right kind of men because you're in charge of this yourself. Boom, boom, boom. You're in charge of it yourself. 22, you don't know how to pick a man. You pick a man based on things that don't work. You don't know what to do. Now if you're ready to be married and all the things you say, I know what I'm talking about. Thank you. And lastly, you can't overtalk me there. Hold on. I do have a question though. You have to unmute yourself. I got a serious question. Ready?
Yeah.
Very serious question. If you seriously want to be a wife, why do you have a nose ring?
What's wrong with the nose ring?
What's right with the nose ring for a woman that wants to be a wife? It doesn't say wife. It doesn't say wife. That's what's wrong with it. It doesn't say wife. It says fun girl, good time. There's nothing that did your father say, yes, dear, if you want to get married, go get a nose ring. That'll attract marriage-minded men. Or is it just something you like and wanted to do?
It's just something I liked and wanted to do.
Well, let me tell you something. It sends the wrong signals to men. It sends the wrong signals to men. And that can't be the first time you've heard that. Is it? Yes.
This is only the second time. Yeah, no.
Well, okay. Well, what kind of signal Okay, everything that we put on our bodies sends some sort of signals. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with the obvious things. Okay. Mm-hmm. Your hair. What signal does that send to men?
I'm not sure. It's just I don't know about the signal it sends to men. I know what it is.
But do you think it's important to know if you want a certain outcome from the opposite sex? Do you think it's important to know what signals you're sending to them? Because men know that if we want women, we have to send certain kind of signals. Because you can't just do what you.
Women know and they don't know, man. Women, like, they wear all these accessories. They do know the guys are fans of the buns and the breasts, but everything else, I mean, some guys like a painted up face, but all that extra shit, man, we just not into that, man. We're not into that. That hair shit, we could care less. We couldn't care less, excuse me. But women still do it. It's just like, but I think women do that because it's fashionable. They see other women doing it, so they do it. Even though they couldn't care less whether a guy likes it or not, but they use the same excuse. Well, men, or they'll throw something out just to basically keep it where they wear it. Protective styles. I'm protecting the style from my ego or from my pride. And the reason why I'm wearing this is because black men don't like women's hair. They just made this up. They go after the white women and the Latina women that have this type of hair. That's why we as prideful black women, we want to look counterfeit to these women by adopting these things, but we get mad when they quote unquote adopt what we got going on. It's just all this brainwashing and shit is just, these narratives that's created is just ridiculous, man. Man doesn't give a fuck about that hair shit.
You want to and attract the kind of woman you want, you got to send the right signals. So I'm going to help you from an image consultant standpoint. Image matters. Is that your natural hair?
No.
All right. How long is your natural hair?
So it's like an afro, so I don't really measure the length.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say,
Your
like,
hair
if
on
I
your,
put
is
it
that a
up-
wig? Is that a wig or is it like extensions? What?
This is a wig.
Okay. That hair does not look like the hair that grows out of your head. Okay?
I suppose.
No, there's no I suppose.
And this is where they go into, well, there's a certain small community in Eastern Africa in this village that can, you know, grow this kind of hair, and they have blonde hair and blue eyes also. My great grandmother had this kind of hair. You can't tell me, so I'm just keeping up tradition with this bullshit.
Man. Hair does not look like that. Don't do that with me because it's going to go badly.
Okay.
If I was sitting here with a blonde straight hair, I would be sending a different message. If I was sitting here with blue contacts on,
Yeah.
so men, how do you think men perceive black women with long flowing hair that we know don't grow out of your head?
But Kevin, white women wear weaves too. Latin women wear weaves too. I wonder if they call it protective styles though. Go ahead. Sorry.
Then the nose ring. And you're asking about men. Well, just like men are responsible, you're responsible too. So if no one's told you, young lady, be yourself. Because what I'm seeing is when I see women with this long hair that I know don't grow out of your head, like it or not, it kind of shows me a woman who doesn't necessarily love herself as much as she should. Because we men have said it countless times. We don't like your weaves, your wigs, and your extensions. Black men have said that countless times. And I know women have heard it, but you continue to do it. Men don't
One hundo. One thou wow.
like women with piercings and tattoos and all the other kind of stuff. That does not look like a mother or a wife. It looks like a girl you have sex with and get rid of. So you can decide to make it be whatever you want to, and you ladies can rebel and say, well, I should be able to wear what I want to, not be judged. And I can say whatever you want to, but men are who we are, just like you're who you are. So, I'm going to say this again, too. Young women, young black women, do yourself a favor. Take off all these wigs and weaves. It really makes you look, black men don't care for it. You really don't. And I'm saying it as politely as possible. Most black men think exceptionally negative about it. Because we're sitting there looking at you with somebody else's hair on their head. And you even have something like, why, if I want hair like that, I'll just go get the woman whose hair they grow out of.
Yeah.
Why? Leave the wigs off.
Well, that's why we do it, Kevin. We do it because those are the type of women that these guys go after. So that's why we want to look like them. And we despise those women. JR, no one said we despise those women. I had a woman say some shit like that on another video, which I'll probably link here. Nobody said we despise those women. Okay.
And these bull rings in y'all's nose, you look like women that somebody just supposed to have sex with in the back of a truck and then leave her at the next stop. I saw you don't want to be on camera. Okay. Go ahead and unmute yourself. I hope somebody thinks, damn, I don't want to be thought of like that, because it does nothing for you. A pierced septum does nothing for you. Go ahead, how are you?
It's God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I will put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth